It's becoming increasingly clear that Prince William is no longer holding back. Behind palace walls, a quiet but powerful storm is gathering, and its focus is none other than Prince Harry. The days of extending olive branches are over. No more hopeful public remarks. No more discreet efforts to mend fences. William is said to be setting out a long-term vision for the monarchy, and that plan doesn't appear to include his younger brother. This rift isn't simply about Harry's book, the interviews, or even the lucrative Netflix deals. It runs far deeper, reaching back to when Meghan Markle first entered the royal spotlight. Let's take a step back. Remember the royal wedding? It was hailed as a bold and modern twist on centuries of tradition. Crowds were cheering, the family smiling, and the media painted it as a historic moment, an American actress stepping into Britain's most prestigious family. Yet tucked within the celebrations was a subtle but telling incident. Meghan and Harry walked past the Queen without pausing. No curtsy, no gesture of respect. In royal life, tradition is not just pageantry. It is the backbone of the institution. A curtsy to the Queen isn't optional. It symbolizes recognition of the monarchy's weight and acceptance of its responsibilities. Meghan, polished and camera-ready, missed that moment. And few within the palace believed it was accidental. Rehearsals had carefully mapped out every step of the ceremony, down to the smallest details. That gesture was included, and she skipped it. Some dismissed it as nerves or oversight. But insiders suggest William interpreted it very differently, as a sign Meghan never intended to follow the rules. And that, in his eyes, was serious. Because if she couldn't show respect to the Queen in front of the world on her wedding day, what would she disregard behind the scenes? That single moment, small as it appeared, marked a turning point. William's trust in Meghan fractured, and with it, his trust in Harry. Because Harry stood by her side, allowed it to happen, and chose not to intervene. To William, that silence spoke volumes. From then on, every move the couple made, whether relocating to California or securing multi-million-dollar deals, was viewed through that lens of mistrust. Each move since, whether the media deals or airing grievances on global platforms, only reinforced what William already suspected. Harry and Meghan had stepped outside the monarchy for good. They had chosen independence, and there was no path back. Fast forward to now, and any notion of reconciliation is essentially over. Reports suggest Harry is making attempts to reconnect. Perhaps not in an official capacity, but at least on a personal level. He's said to be working on rebuilding his relationship with his father, King Charles. But William isn't convinced. In fact, he's believed to be advancing a strategy that would formally phase Harry out of the royal framework, not just informally distancing him, but redefining the monarchy's future without him. Behind the scenes, there's talk of an upcoming private gathering, an exclusive meeting of senior royals at a secluded estate, free from cameras and press. Attending will be the King, Queen Camilla, William, and Catherine. And the agenda is far weightier than holiday plans. They're reportedly making decisions that could reshape the monarchy's structure for years to come, with Harry's position at the center of the discussion. William's stance is uncompromising. He wants a definitive break. No partial measures, no lingering ties. That means stripping titles, cutting privileges, and closing the door permanently. The reality, as William sees it, is that Harry can no longer be separated from Meghan and their children. They are a package deal, and it's that package, with its modern lifestyle and public independence, that the monarchy refuses to accommodate. For William, this is no longer a matter of family tension. It's a question of security, reputation, and the very stability of the crown. He views Meghan not as a misunderstood outsider, but as someone who deliberately rejected royal customs, then leveraged her experiences for influence, profit, and global attention. In his eyes, that makes her a genuine risk to the institution. From the beginning, Meghan signaled her intent to chart her own path. She retained control over matters traditionally entrusted to the palace, such as her wedding dress, something Queen Elizabeth reportedly never previewed beforehand. To many, that choice seemed small, but within the royal household it was profound. It disrupted a long-standing, unspoken trust. Even the Queen, with her unmatched status and age, wasn't extended the courtesy of reviewing what the future Duchess would wear on such a defining day. The message was clear. Meghan would follow her own rules, stack that decision alongside the explosive Oprah interview, the withdrawal from Spotify, the Netflix series, and Harry's memoir Spare, and a pattern emerges, at least from William's perspective. This isn't about a handful of questionable choices. It's a consistent course of action, one that he believes undermines the crown itself. What William sees is a pattern: choosing drama over duty, spotlight over discretion, and personal storytelling over family unity. In his view, Harry enabled all of it. And if Harry is allowed back into the fold, even in a limited way, Meghan's influence inevitably comes with him. At this stage, it's no longer about forgiveness. It's about managing risk. The senior royals aren't meeting to share feelings or reminisce. They're strategizing about safeguarding the monarchy's future. One of the more drastic proposals reportedly being considered is the complete removal of royal titles. Not only Harry and Meghan's HRH status, but possibly even that of their children. To the outside world, such a move may seem harsh or retaliatory, but within palace walls, it's viewed as a necessary reset. William's blueprint for a modern monarchy leaves no room for half measures, lingering disputes, or blurred loyalties. Still, not everyone in the room shares his exact stance. Catherine stands firmly beside her husband, but her instincts lean toward caution. Known as the quiet peacemaker, she has long tried to keep the family connected. Reports suggest she worries that severing ties so completely could spark deep regrets later. Once titles are removed and doors are shut, there's no reversing course. Her concern isn't just about Harry and William's relationship, but also about how such a move could affect the monarchy's image on the world stage. Even so, she understands the stakes. Harry's recent behavior suggests he isn't simply reaching out for reconciliation. He's pushing to reclaim a measure of royal standing. Whether it's showing up at key events, reaching out to King Charles, or requesting private meetings, he appears to be maneuvering. The problem is, no one in the palace feels confident about his true intentions. Is he acting out of guilt, sentiment, strategy, or something else entirely? That uncertainty makes him a wild card, and the institution can't afford unpredictability. As autumn approaches, insiders describe the atmosphere as tense. What may appear publicly as a relaxed family retreat is, behind the scenes, a turning point. William wants resolution, not half commitments. No vague relationships, no blurred lines. He believes the monarchy's survival depends on clarity, and that begins with decisively addressing Harry. The next phase of this royal drama hinges on timing. Harry's upcoming trip to London for the Well-Child Awards on September 8th is fast approaching. Sources claim he's eager, perhaps even desperate, to arrange a meeting with King Charles during his visit. But the palace calendar tells a different story. Harry's situation is far from a top priority at the moment. With Balmoral just days away and crucial decisions about the monarchy's direction set to be made in private, the royal schedule is packed. Whether intentional or not, the message is unmistakable. There's no time for him right now. According to palace insiders, the family remains uneasy about Harry's presence in the UK. Their concern isn't about what he might say face-to-face, but rather what could later be shared publicly. Past experiences have shown them that even the smallest interaction, a conversation, a glance, can resurface as a headline, a Netflix storyline, or even the next chapter of a memoir. Trust has evaporated, and until that changes, no one wants to risk giving Harry material to use for his own narrative. What makes the matter more complex is the emotional weight behind it. For Catherine, the issue is deeply personal. She has witnessed William grow more resolute over time, and while she admires his decisiveness, she quietly fears what the permanent rift could mean in the years ahead. Reports suggest she worries that once the door is firmly closed, reconciliation may never be possible. Not for the brothers, not for their children, and not for any chance of healing. She accepts that Meghan is unlikely to return in any meaningful way, but she believes Harry may one day regret his choices. Worse still, she fears William may regret not leaving even the smallest chance for reconciliation. Harry himself appears increasingly weighed down by the consequences of his own decisions. Sources close to him say he is becoming more aware that his children are growing up disconnected from the traditions and bonds he once had. They don't see their cousins, they don't attend royal gatherings, and they have no place within the family's rhythm. That awareness is said to be hitting him harder than expected. Whether this is motivating his recent efforts to reconnect or simply adding to his frustration remains unclear. But what is certain is that the sense of exile now stings more sharply than it did before. As for King Charles, he faces a difficult balancing act. On one hand, he must protect and modernize the monarchy. On the other, there is the instinct to preserve family ties no matter how strained. Yet many believe that in the end, Charles will ultimately follow William's lead. He knows that the monarchy's future lies not with him, but with the son who will eventually inherit his role. If William decides that Harry must be pushed aside for the monarchy to endure, then that is likely the course they will follow, no matter how painful it may be. At the center of this is a truth William has always understood. Accepting Harry also means accepting everything that comes with him. That includes a wife who challenged royal norms, a marriage that broke with tradition, and a trail of public criticism that can't simply be wiped away. For William, the divide is not just about family, it's about structure. He is focused on shaping a monarchy that can stand strong for the next generation,